there's a lot of cover-up going on, and this is a conspiracy. Uh, Absolutely. It's not even, I'm not even going to put it forth as a theory. I mean, the whole idea of history, in my mind, what we should do in the future, the near coming future, is to come together in harmony with a purpose of verifying all the viable and valid facts so that we know what the history is. Instead of having different pockets of information around and kind of coding it with disinformation, so such as with Egypt, so they can continue their secrecy and their tourism scam, or I don't know what. It's not for any good absolute reasons. The only good absolute would be to bring the full truth out. And I'm not picking on Egypt authority any more than I'm picking on the Vatican authority or whoever. Plato had brought up his story in a very patriotic light. So this doesn't make it untrue. This makes it reason to be suspect for exaggeration. And by the way, advertisers know, sorry for this break in our broadcast. I just wanted to say I'm writing a book about all this stuff and much more of the things that mystery is all about, that we've been producing videos for 6 years and more. The books now are going to start to come out. So if you want to support this kind of thing and actually support your own insatiable curiosity, then check out the books. So back to, this patriotic idea of Plato. He's basically saying they won the war against the Atlanteans. Alright, so this is a pretty hefty, aspect to this that people really don't know about. Like I said, the general thing with all the people out there that don't really know, but they just understand the basic legend, is that there was a great civilization that got destroyed by cataclysmic, It didn't talk about the war preceding it. But this also brings in the timeline. So let me tie this in first, and we'll get back to timeline. But we need to say that Plato's been translated as saying it was 9,000 years ago before his relative's account was gathered. So that would be his grandfather getting the story from Solon, who got it from Egyptian priests that had the ancient knowledge. They had their recording documented of this. So, hold on a second. The war started 9,000 years before that. If 9,000. Now, people have said this was wrong because he's actually was saying 900 years. So they're not saying that Plato got it wrong in his statement. He made his statement and then the translators got mixed up. Or, I mean, whatever. But look, just to get your head around it, maybe 9,000 is correct. Because if you do the calculation, that means that the Great War between Atlantis and the powers in the east, or around the Mediterranean, which involved probably the Egyptians and the Athenians, which is the Greek culture. You want a cookie? Can I just finish this video? In 2 minutes I'll give you a cookie. Because you already had a few cookies today. Alright, please don't interrupt me or you won't get a cookie at all. Okay, that'll be your reward. I gotta do this Pavlovian thing. Okay, 9,000 years. So we don't have a scientific agreement on how far Athens goes back, because the calculation shows that the war of whoever it was against the Atlanteans, whoever they were, is 11,500 years before today. Alright, check that out. You're talking that's almost 12,000 years. I mean, I have to stop when I hear things like that. I don't know about you. I mean, when you get information, sometimes it's just like overload. It's like, what? Okay. All right. So the war went on for a long time, and at some point the Athenians got involved. We don't know exactly when he's saying the Athenians got established, but it is saying that at some point during this war, a long ongoing war, for how long we also don't know. So it could be for 10 years, it could be for 100, it possibly could be in the thousands of years. We don't know. So the Athenians were the ones that came up, and they're being congratulated in the Egyptian account. The Egyptian account